All right, Chad, how are you? Glad to have you here in our virtual world, in our offices, or one of our boardrooms here. Glad you were able to carve out some time for us and join.
Happy to do it, Trenton. I appreciate the invitation. The boardroom's impressive. I find this EXP virtual reality to be pretty entertaining. This is great.
Yeah, it's corona free. There's you don't have to sterilize the desk or anything. You won't be catching anything in here when you meet. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, the corona is that's the COVID-19 pandemic has made some huge impacts to the mortgage industry in the past couple of weeks. So I appreciate you inviting me on to share a few nuggets as far as what's going on out there.
I just had a couple of questions in that regard as well, so let's get right to it. Again, everybody, this is Chad Stansel. Chad, introduce yourself, who you are with Willow Bend Mortgage.
Yeah, thank you, Trenton. So I work in North Dallas. I've been in and around North Texas for majority of my life. I've been a mortgage professional and did my first equity loan in 2004. So helped hundreds, really thousands of families with their mortgages over the years. Producing regional manager for Willow Bend Mortgage here in town, and looking to always ships with other realtors and other referrals. Trent is a little piece back there.
Well, appreciate that. And so one of the questions I have, and I know a lot of people have, there's a lot of changes that's going on because of this pandemic. One question that I have quickly, what are you seeing in regards to interest rates right now? With the volatility of the stock market and everything, how's that affecting mortgages?
It's been there's things that have happened in the last week or two that are unprecedented, that have never happened in the mortgage industry. You're seeing some of the traditional earmark things that we watch for that move rates around, like the 10-year in bond rates. They're not necessarily matching with one another. And essentially what happened with the Fed 2 weeks ago, around March the 10th, 12th, dropped rates to historic lows. Rates hit all-time lows, trying to stimulate the economy. And then it didn't work. And so rates jumped up and went. So we were doing 30-year fixed down in the low threes, some right at 3.0, and went all the way up to the mid fours last week. So that same file might be looking at 4.5% last week, and now they're back down to the mid threes this week. So to put that into perspective, the most movement I've ever seen in my 15 years was the day Trump was hired. Rates went up a half Sunday. So to see rates changing 1 to 1.5% matter of 3 business days has just been wild, absolute volatility. And the whole point of this is to really stimulate the economy. But Trenton, here's the good news. In North Texas, where a lot of us work, and really across the industry, home affordability has never been better because of these low rates. They're really trying hard to strengthen the real estate market. So, it hasn't depreciated, although your 401k may have, your home values right now are still appreciating. And there's never been a better time to be in real estate. And for me, this is a prime example of why real estate is truly the cornerstone of financial freedom for the general public.
It's not decreasing at all. That's beautiful.
You might have lost 20% on your 401k last week, but your house is still worth the same.
Exactly.
This is couldn't be more clear to the consumer. If you're not a homeowner, you need to be. It's a secure investment. It's the bedrock of the American dream, and I'm passionate about helping people achieve it.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, one of the tools we use to help people achieve it in different programs and bond programs that are out there, a lot of my clients use it a lot as well. I wanted to ask you about that SEF Gold Star down payment program. Kind of what is that right now?
Right. So what's happening as far as your products, your SEF Gold Star bond products, your first down payment assistance, things of that nature, they're all getting squeezed as far as the guidelines that are required. Right now, they're trying to make projections on a government level and a high level as far as unemployment rates in the near future, and they're trying to make adjustments for that. So your down payment assistance programs right now are starting to require higher credit scores. For example, Star just yesterday, March the 25th, made an announcement that the minimum credit score is 680. That was a 620 last week. So they're effectively saying, yeah, we'll do it, but you need to be squeaky clean. So your borrowers with your lower credit scores right now, or even your bank statement loans, your non-qualified mortgage, your non-QM loans right now, what I would call your funky stuff that's been around, is really getting squeezed. I've seen several notable non-QM lenders have shut the doors in the last week or two. They may not be out of business. They're not out of business, but what they're saying is we're not going to do any loans right now until we see the true impact of this COVID-19 on the American economy. All our hopes, obviously, is we flatten the curve, things go back to normal in 30, 60 days, 90 days. But in this short period, they're trying to hedge their bets, and they don't want to do quote-unquote riskier loans going into a potential 15 to 20% unemployment rate nationwide if this continues for the foreseeable future. I don't necessarily claim to know the exact stats on everything, but I'm reading about it, and that's what's going on. Is so you're seeing a lot less exceptions on the lower credit scores or the unique exotic mortgage programs, if that's
so.
Makes sense.
What used to be at 640, you said now they need something like 680.
Yes, sir. You're really looking more at those you're really looking for those 660, 680. That's more of the magic number right now. The 620 loans still exist. I think your 580s and your 600s are getting squeezed out at the moment, where we could easily do a 580 FHA loan 2 months ago. That person's all going to be at like a 660 right now. And again, this is all moving on a dime. They could go right back to the 580s in the very near future. But right now, today, in the uncertain times that we are, the big brother, if you will, is tightening the reins and saying, I don't necessarily want to do a bunch of loans for low credit scores because we could potentially be looking at high unemployment rates and therefore high default rates on mortgages. I know all this sounds scary and it's not what anybody wants to hear, but that's what's happening in the market.
Interest rate wise, what are we looking at today? So
rates are still really good. I mean, you're looking for your 30-year fix is definitely still in the threes today for your well-qualified buyers, your high threes. So the cheap money is still there, Trenton. Here's my advice. Here's my advice to your buyers and your people looking to do a real estate transaction in the next 90 days, next 3 or 4 months. If you've got that lower score, that 620, 640, you need to really focus in big time with your trusted credit repair guy and your lender, and focus heavily on that to maximize your credit scores right now so that you're not squeezed out of the market. This is not the time to give up. It's available to everybody. You just might need to spend that extra little bit of time and energy and effort focusing on maximizing your credit.
For those who do have those credit issues, I can have them give you a call, correct? Because you can kind of walk through them or walk through their credit report to help them?
100%. They need to apply with a local mortgage professional. Obviously, I would prefer it to be me, but whoever it is, this is not the time to stick your head in the sand. It's the time to go ahead and make the application, start the process, explore your credit repair options if you need them, and really pursue those with gusto now so that we can be ready when the time is right. What I'm telling you is we could probably just get away with leaving it as is and doing that 580 a month or two ago. That same client today, we want to get them to 640.
And in order to do that, you got to give them a call so we can explore credit reports so you can tell them what they need to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Man, I appreciate your time. I can show you to the door, but outside there are activities going on in the EXP world. You may want to, they got the speedboat and
yes, sir.
People out there playing. So
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure spending some time with you, Trenton. Your reputation in the market has preceded you. You've been a consummate professional and a high producing real estate pro in our market for a long time, so it's a pleasure sitting down with you today.
My pleasure. Likewise, and that's one reason I wanted to bring you on, because the deals we've done were always smooth. Even my clients enjoyed interacting with you, and I had it done with less confusion. So I work with professionals that absolutely make the process smooth and enjoyable as much as possible. There are bumps in the road, but when you step up and make that, just make it happen. That's how you get that call back for all of it.
And that's right. Everybody can look good on an easy transaction, but when you're in the trenches with somebody and things are going bad, that's when you learn what kind of business partners you've got.
Absolutely.
That's where it's at. So Trenton, anything in particular I need to do to end this meeting or walk away? Any buttons I need to click, or how do I navigate?
You're good. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. I appreciate you for coming in, man. Thank you.
Okay, Trenton. Thanks for your time, man.
All right.
Yes, sir.